Hey guys, it's Jeffrey here, and today I want to talk to you about a mistake that a lot of people make. I see this mistake being made from my clients. I see this mistake in Facebook groups, in couples retreats, wherever you go. This problem is really rampant and is usually killing a lot of relationships. So what is the problem here? So imagine right now that your partner does something that you don't like. So maybe your partner storms off, maybe they get angry, maybe they say something mean to you, maybe they do something that is quite assholey, right? Something that really hurts your feelings deep down. So what usually happens? Well, what usually happens is the first conclusion that you make is, gosh, what a dick, right? And you say this because when our partner does something bad, we usually instantly make a judgment of character. And this happens so often that scientists actually have a name for this tendency. It's called the fundamental attribution error. And this is a cognitive bias that is so entrenched in our brains that we do it so often and we don't even know about it. So to understand what this is, imagine that you're driving a car. Let's imagine that you're driving this blue car right now. So in front of you, there's this driver that's driving really fast, right? He's weaving through traffic, going at like 110 miles an hour, not using his signals and just driving like an asshole. What is the first thing you think? Well, most of you, 99% of the time, are going to think like, gosh, what a dick. What an asshole. But very few of you will ever think, like, I wonder what is going on that he's in such a rush. What's wrong? So again, we instantly make a judgment of character here. But what's funny is that, think about the last time you were driving like that guy. Really recklessly, going really fast. Was it due to some environment, or are you just an asshole? Most likely, you will say that it's due to some environment, that you're not an asshole. So it's funny. See the bias here, right? When other people do something assholey, you think they're an asshole. But when you do it, you're not an asshole. You're just someone having some extenuating circumstance. Like you're late for a meeting, maybe you need to see someone in the hospital, whatever it is. So that's the bias at play. And so as humans, we tend to attribute errors and mistakes with a problem with people. But what seems like a problem with people, or a people problem, is usually a situation problem. Actually, it's always a situation problem. In life, right? In life in general, winners never think, why are these people acting so badly? But they always think, how can I change the environment that brings the good out of people? Because really, if you think about it, a focus on changing the environment has led to the most ingenious solutions and the most ingenious inventions of humankind. So if you don't believe me here, think about this, right? If you look at road signs, traffic lane markers, and stop signs, they were designed to help create this environment that makes it easy for drivers to drive in a very orderly fashion. But imagine our world if city planners said, why are people such idiots? They probably wouldn't have, come up with the effort to think about a solution, and our roads would be very different right now. And our roads would be very chaotic, very messy, and people will be crashing into each other all the time, right? It's not good. Another example here, Amazon. So Amazon created their 2-day shipping policy to help customers buy what they want or need much more easily. But imagine our world if Amazon said, why are people so goddamn impatient, right? Again, they wouldn't have thought of the idea to have this 2-day shipping policy, and we'll still be stuck with waiting like 5 to 7 days or even longer for a shipping still. And the last one here, ATM machines. If you think about it, they force you to take out your card before getting your money. Why? It's really to prevent you from forgetting your card. But imagine how many lost cards there would be if banks thought, like, why are people so stupid and forgetful? So again, a focus on changing the environment has led to the most ingenious solutions and inventions of humankind. But when you blame people, when you focus on blaming people, that will never lead to any new discoveries. And the only new discovery you'll make is maybe how much you hate some particular person, maybe your partner, or whoever else it is. And I would go so far as to say that this is really the root behind all heated arguments and conflicts, right? Because this is a cycle that's being created. So let's say someone in the relationship makes a judgment of character, right? And the other person gets very defensive. And when the other person gets defensive, what happens? the person's defensiveness will make the other person even angrier. When the one person gets angry, that makes the other person even more defensive. And so this cycle just keeps going on and on and on until you guys just cannot communicate anymore. You're fighting, you're arguing, you're storming off, you're pissing each other off, whatever it is, right? So it's never productive. So understand now that you, your partner, your colleagues, your parents, and everyone else you see in your everyday life, even the asshole drivers that you see, they have a lot of potential. And what you need to do is to unlock that potential by creating the right systems, the right environment, especially in your relationship. So, how do we begin to create the right environment, the right systems, right? Well, the main thing you can do, the most important thing you can do, and don't forget this one, guys, is to change your questioning. So, let's say that your partner is always angry. You tend to say, hey, you have some anger issues. And so you make this judgment of character very immediately. But instead of saying that, you can ask, what is making you so angry? And how can we fix the environment to calm you down easily? And instead of saying, hey, why are you so disorganized? Ask, hey, what is causing us to be disorganized? And how can we fix the environment to make it more organized? And instead of saying, stop being so closed off and scolding your partner when they don't want to share something or something like that, then just ask, what is causing you to be closed off, and how can we fix the environment to make you feel more open? And really, this is a secret to all successful couples. Of the couples I coach that are the most successful, they're the ones that can adopt this mindset the quickest. And this is a secret to the greatest leaders out there, because when you are hiring like a company of 100 person, for example, and let's say they're struggling with motivation, right? You're not going to think like, man, all 100 people are lazy, I got to fire all of them and hire new ones. No, the good leaders are going to say, what is causing them? Some culture issue, some environment issue, some circumstance issue that is causing them to feel demotivated. And they will fix that. They will fix that environment, but not blame the people. And it's a secret behind the best problem solvers too. Because really, if you do this right, if you can do this right, then instead of blaming each other and fighting in your relationship or every time you have a conversation, you will most likely find some environment or some system that is currently broken in your relationship. Because no relationship is perfect, you always have something broken. Something can be optimized. And when you question your relationship in this way, you will find that system or environment that is not optimized. And this will always lead to more productive conversations. Why? Well, there's 4 reasons. And these 4 reasons are very, very important, guys. So make sure to listen. So number 1 is that it lets people's guards down because it makes the conversation less personal. It's no longer about me or my partner or some flaw in me or my partner, but it's now something else entirely. It's now something external. It's now an environment, a system that we're blaming. And when people's guards are down, this can lead to a lot better communication. When you have 2 people who are relaxed, who are not defensive, who are not guarded, only then can like the best solutions be found. But if you have 2 people that are very tense, and they're like very defensive and everything, then you are never going to find any good solutions. Why? Because both of you will just be trying to protect your own ego. You're not there to solve a solution. You're there to protect your own ego now. The second reason, environments are always easier to change than character. If you want to change your character or someone's character, that is a lot of work. That can take like months, sometimes even years, depending on how bad the character flaw is. Environments are much easier to change. You can pinpoint a flaw in the environment today and implement this change tomorrow. And when something is easy to change like that, that's very motivating. And when you feel motivated, that pumps even more momentum to the whole conversation itself, right? So this is very important. And we also become more creative and more positive when solving external problems. As a consultant or as a coach, I know this very well because when I'm looking at my clients' relationships and I'm seeing their problems and I'm analyzing their problems, it's much easier for me to think about creative and positive solutions when solving their problems. But when it comes to like looking into my own life and looking into my own problems, that's a lot harder. So when you externalize your problem to a system or an external environment, that'll make it easier for you both to be more creative, to be more positive while you're problem solving. And this last one here is so important, is that you will begin to enjoy problem solving rather than dreading it. Most couples, when they have a problem, that's a dread. That's a source of conflict. They don't like that. Why? Because they can't solve problems very well. Problems for most couples are just a nuisance. But when you can problem solve properly as a couple, then problem solving can actually get pretty fun. Why? Because one, it's a really good bonding experience for the two of you. And two is that when you solve a problem, you feel that rush of like hormones that makes you feel pretty good. And the more you experience that together, the more you actually enjoy to solve problems. And when couples can make this paradigm shift to actually enjoy problem solving, then that's when true calmness and true peacefulness and true like connection can really happen. And when that happens, you can really become one team that can operate together as one unit. So if you have a problem, you don't hesitate to bring it up to your partner because you know that your partner is a great problem solving team. And the same way, your partner will also come to you when they have a problem because you are also a great problem solving team. So notice how just by creating one paradigm shift of how you look at problems, how you look at bad behavior can change the feedback loops and the chain reactions to go the opposite direction. And this one paradigm shift can really create a lot of improvements in your relationship that you can't even begin to imagine right now. To end this video, I want to ask you, what is something about your relationship that really annoys you? What is something about your partner, your relationship that really annoys you, that makes you really hot under the collar kind of thing? And I want you to think about a way to change the way you question that issue. So instead of blaming character, try to figure out a question that you would ask to yourself or your partner or, I don't know, wherever, that tries to blame systems, circumstances, environments, and not people. And when you can do this, that will be a massive game changer. I'm telling you, this one paradigm is going to change a lot in your relationship. And so that's it for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one soon. Thanks, guys.